sound of rain beating down on the pavement echoes through the empty streets of a sprawling city. The neon lights reflect off the wet roads, casting a haunting glow on the city. Alive with its usual rush, seems cold and indifferent, as if it's forgotten about the people who live within its shadows. In a dimly lit alleyway, a black man, late 30s, rugged and worn by life, sits slumped against a brick wall. His clothes are tattered, his face a canvas of hardship. Yet there's an undeniable warmth in his eyes, a kindness that refuses to be extinguished. Despite the world's attempts, he shivers from the cold, but his eyes remain alert, scanning the streets, always on the lookout for an opportunity to survive. He's used to being invisible, to being ignored by the world that passes by him without a second glance. A woman, late 30s, impeccably dressed in a designer coat, walks briskly down the sidewalk. Her heels click sharply on the wet pavement as she hurries to reach her destination. Anne, a woman of grace and beauty, radiates wealth. Yet beneath the facade of affluence, her face betrays the pain she's hiding. Deep, suffocating pain that no amount of luxury can soothe. She clutches her chest, her breathing labored. She takes a deep breath and quickens her pace, trying to shake off the discomfort, but it's becoming unbearable. Her heart, a constant enemy, has been working against her for years now, and every day she feels its grip tighten around her. Anne stumbles as the pressure in her chest intensifies. She gasps for breath, her vision blurring. Desperately, she leans against the wall for support. Her legs give way beneath her, and she collapses onto the cold, unforgiving ground. Everything goes black. The homeless man, sensing something, looks up. He hears the faint sound of Anne's struggle and sees her lying in the alley, barely conscious. Without thinking, he jumps to his feet and races toward her, ignoring the cold that grips his bones. He kneels beside her, noticing her designer coat and the luxury that surrounds her even in this desperate moment. But none of that matters right now. Only her life does. He touches her shoulder gently, but she doesn't respond. His instincts kick in. He's seen too many people in distress, though never quite like this. He checks her pulse, weak, erratic. Stay with me. Please stay with me, he whispers. He begins performing CPR, his hands trembling but his heart unwavering. He pushes down hard on her chest, desperation fueling his strength. The sound of the rain intensifies as the city seems to hold its breath. Flashback. Is Struggle the same man Malcolm as a child walks beside his mother through a rundown neighborhood? His mother, strong and resilient, holds his hand tightly. Keep your head high, Malcolm. Never let them see you break, his mother says, her voice calm but firm. A younger Malcolm looks up at her, seeing the weariness in her eyes, yet she smiles with every step. The world outside is harsh, but she's determined to protect him from it. Mum, what's going to happen to us? He asks, his voice full of innocent fear. We'll make it. You'll make it, his mother reassures him. Malcolm is sweating, his face a mask of concentration. Anne's pulse is faint, but it's there. He continues, each compression bringing him closer to a hope he hasn't felt in years. Finally, Anne gasps, a breath, a life-saving breath. Her eyes flutter open, weak but alive. She looks up, confused into the face of the man who has saved her. Who are you? She whispers, barely audible. Malcolm pulls back, his own breath heavy and labored. He's exhausted, but relief washes over him. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're still here, he replies. Anne stares at him, her mind still struggling to process. She blinks, trying to focus. I don't know how to thank you, she says weakly. Malcolm shakes his head, a quiet smile on his face. Don't thank me. Just don't give up, he says. She nods slowly, her eyes clouded with emotion she can't quite place. She looks down at the rain-soaked ground, unsure of what to say next. The twist, who she is the next day. Anne is sitting in a luxurious living room, staring out at the city from the high-rise window. Her heart still aches, but the events of the previous night linger in her mind like a dream she can't shake. Her husband, Jonathan, a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, walks into the room, his suit sharp, his demeanor cold. How are you feeling? You disappeared for a while last night. We had plans, you know, he says, his tone distant. Anne's eyes snap to him, but her voice is distant, her mind elsewhere. I almost died last night, Jonathan, she says, her voice trembling. Jonathan pauses, looking at her blankly. Okay, but we need to focus. The deal with the investors... He begins, clearly uninterested. Anne stands abruptly, turning away from him. I almost died last night, Jonathan, and you don't even care." Jonathan's eyes narrow, a flicker of annoyance flashing across his face. "A stop. This isn't the time for this," he says coldly. Anne looks at him, tears forming in her eyes. For the first time, she feels the weight of her existence. Wealth, privilege, and a life that has left her hollow. Final scene. A new beginning. Anne walks down the same street where she first collapsed. Her heart is still heavy, but something in her has shifted. She's no longer the woman trapped by her status. She's free in a way that she hasn't been for years. She spots Malcolm sitting on the curb, his eyes scanning the crowd. Their eyes meet. She walks toward him, slow at first, unsure, but as she approaches, she knows what she must do. She stands before him, the rain softly falling around them. "Thank you. You saved my life," Anne says softly. Malcolm looks up at her, surprised by her presence. There's no gratitude expected, just a sense of connection. "Just take care of yourself," he says quietly. Anne smiles, a deep, sincere smile that comes from a place of understanding. "I'll never forget you," she says, before turning to walk away. Malcolm watches her disappear into the crowd, a quiet hope in his heart that maybe, just maybe, there's something more to this world than the struggle.